I'm not happy about it, but I will report. We checked off. We good? Yeah. Well, we got the glasses on. Excuse me.
Those pretty much should have just triggered everything every time, but I'm still gonna keep them up because they don't get triggered in the audio version. Like if people listen to it not on YouTube. I don't know if you're listening. They sound great. Yeah, they know how to get triggered on that. And that's what the bulk of it is. Welcome to the Shut the Funk Up podcast. I am the well-fed boy, and as always, I am delighted to be joined by
Jaylit the Kid. What it do?
Episode 142 in your grill. We've been gone for a while, and as we always do this when we have lives, things come up, things happen, and as we always do when we do this, listen. Don't want to hear it.
Don't want to hear it.
Don't want to hear it. Don't care.
But
hey, listen.
But of all of the timeout coaches we're just doing the T hands, right?
Yeah.
To the ref.
Mm-hmm.
This one was we had life and we had death.
We had life and death. Okay.
So it's
this is a year with a lot of life and death themes going on in it.
Oh yeah,
and not cool. Not cool.
But it's terrible, and then you have something awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
You have something amazing, and then 2 steps back.
Yeah.
So it just, but I've been meaning to ask you. I know that you were in charge of Tug for, I think you told me you were on duty 72 hours?
I was on duty 72 hours. My sister gave birth to her second child, Penelope.
Shout out moms, called that name.
And I had to watch Clementine, I call her Tug, for 3 days. I was on duty. I was I was a dad.
You were a dad.
I was like, this is it. Is this what Jordan's always? No, I see nothing. It's nothing.
And
I mean, she's 5.
She's 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a little different, but yeah, I was full on dad, and it was fun. You know what's the best part now that we're getting into it, that I was like, ooh, I can get
It's the most hot pressing questions I've been wanting to ask you for weeks.
I'll just give you the one thing that was like, oh, this is a feeling that I've never felt, and I can get used to this.
Ooh.
Was picking her up from school every day. The joy on her face to see me, and that hug, and she running hug each day. I was like,
She's thinking it's such a beautiful moment. You're absolutely scanning left and right for any single moms who may just be seeing a heart-touching moment between little Clem and Uncle Al.
Well, it's good too because she's yelling, "Uncle Ajax!" Like, so everyone knows, not Daddy. Hey yo,
she's putting you on, and
she's got my back. She got my back, dude. She got my back, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
So what was okay, but there was a moment where, so that was the joyous moment, but was there at least a moment where you're like,
yeah, there was
Alex, mind your P's and Q's.
There was one time where, like, I had asked her 3 separate times to, like, sit down, and it's like, because she was just going nuts. She was just going all like, I want to go. She wants to go outside. She wants to come back inside. She wants to go right back outside. She wants to do this. She wants to do that. Change this channel, like, and running around the whole time. Oh, can I get a Jello? Here's a Jello. Takes one bite. I don't want the Jello no more. I got a tummy ache. And then now you're like, you have a tummy ache? And you're like, and she's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm allergic to Jello. You didn't read?
Yeah, and I'm just like, you ain't got a tummy ache. So it was just like nuts. So like, yeah, then after.
Love that.
I had to be like, hey, and there's another thing I kind of like learned myself. I was like, I'm not going to be the yelling dad. I'm going to be the dad that like gets right up in your grill and goes, hey, listen, eye contact.
I was the one-bited Jello kid.
Yeah, so I had to be like, hey, listen, come here. Hey, no, come here. And just like, I would be like, take a breath, listen to me. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna watch Bluey. All right, we're gonna watch this whole episode, and that's how we're gonna go. We're not gonna go back outside. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Okay. Boom.
Bluey.
God damn
Love
it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
3 full days. You're a dad. Maybe.
Maybe.
Little training.
Maybe. Hey, warming up to it. Warming up to it.
I think that's kind of like you're kind of like in the dad reserve, kind of like Army Reserve. Like we pull you in, you have to go for a long weekend, 3 days with a kid. So just you're trained just in case like you ever get called into active duty.
Yeah, I'm on Citizens Patrol. You know.
Yeah. Oh yes.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you got the same. The car looks the same if you don't like see what's on the side.
Yeah. Just the lights are yellow. Not. I don't get any blues or reds.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so let's jump into the episodes because we got a lot to cover since we've been gone. There's a lot of stuff we want to talk about. Before we get into, actually, let's do Dark Child. Let's get into Dark Child was the last. Well, technically wasn't the last. Did you check out the episode?
I did not.
Let's talk about Dark Child. So pissed off. So pissed off.
And you told me.
And I told you. This guy is so... No, honestly, I'm going to delete it now. All right, keep going to talk about Dark Child.
I'm going to download it so it's on my phone. Dark Child was great. I mean, it was like the...
Yeah, we already knew.
The R&B,
I don't have to do my glasses.
Late 90s, early 2000s R&B that just kind of like molded and shaped us and formed us.
Yeah. Yep.
So...
And I need you to listen to the last episode.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was... Do you remember who I was? Do you remember what I kind of described to you? Probably not. It was after the Ari Spears concert, I think, so we were a little...
It was... I know you remember telling me that they were at some point connected to or in the Allman Brothers.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. All right, cool. Enough said.
So
will you listen to it?
I will.
For God's sakes. I'm pissed.
I didn't... I totally forgot.
I know. It's not like you had been having a lot going on.
We're working. We're working.
I'm joking with you. I'm being sarcastic. Let's get into this week's ear candy. Or actually, yeah. Let's do this week's ear candy. We both got a couple. Jordan has one on brand, one off brand, and it was amazing.
Did you? I was
like, wow, so on brand. Wow, so off brand.
So did you enjoy the off brand more or the on brand more?
I enjoyed the on brand more because I'd never heard that song
ever. Okay, so
which one do you want to go on brand or off brand?
I want to go off brand first.
Off brand first. Okay.
So I think this was one from we were watching a show no, this was literally Instagram got me. It was on the back of someone's reel.
Did you bring the poll? Did you bring? Did the thing come in?
I have it in the truck. Okay. Product review after the Peacock.
Yeah.
But this was a song by Cannons called "Temporary Romance." I heard it in the back of a cool video, and I was like, maybe I'll be cool, new edgy Jordan, and I'll send this over, and let's just see what Alex thinks. I was concerned. I thought when you said off-brand that it was something that you were not going to enjoy. Why would you have put that on there?
No, that's just that's a style of music that's a style of music that you don't normally.
I will dip my toe in. Though.
You'll dip the toe in it, but like not you're not going in the deep end.
I mean,
but right now
I'm in the middle. I'm tiptoeing towards the middle of the pool.
Yeah. Right now you're like you're grabbing the edge of the pool and you're making your way down. You know?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Remember when you did that as a kid? You're like, I want to get down there, but I'm gonna hold on. Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on. Now this next one.
Yeah. This
mine?
one. Yeah.
Okay, so the on brand was. This song he was an affiliate. It's by RBX. It's called Blunt Time, and it's by this guy that was running around with Dr. Dre, like around the time of when he released The Chronic, which was his first album. So back in like the early 90s, this guy was either associated with Dr. Dre's crew or whatever, but he would always like rap with Dr. Dre. So.
Almost went down there.
Did you?
Dude, that, I'm telling you.
For everyone on video who saw that, I'm a professional. I just kept going.
Yo, let me tell you, the battery, when the battery goes, hey, battery's low, that means you got less than 15 seconds.
Really?
It's the worst, notification. I've been like, oh, shoot, and then, I've went to grab and came back up, it's down, it's gone. We were seconds away.
Thank you for your service.
We're a little rusty.
Thank you for your service.
That was the first two. Hear me now.
And that was when they could have sworn the room was moving. But that was all written in my...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one was excellent. That was one I had the headphones on, and I took them off and was like, excuse me? Hey, Jordan, my B.
Thank you.
That one was good. Yeah, never heard that song. Don't know who RB. I love that. So I was like, that was nice. I was like, okay, boys in his bag.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It's a draft day. I got to be on point. So
yeah. My two will show exactly the type of kick that I've been on lately. One of them is from the new Justice album. The song is featuring Tame Impala, which basically means it's Kevin Parker, and the song is called Never Ender. Get us flagged, and I will have to edit that one out for sure.
That's just an automatic.
That one I was like, this one's it doesn't even matter if I played 10 seconds of it. YouTube would be like, nope. But we still do it. But we still do it for the audio audience. You guys get it. They don't fuck with us over there on Spotify and Apple. So that's the new album from Justice. It's amazing, but honestly, Justice is one of those bands. It's funny. I was thinking about it. They're a band. There's a few bands for me that just don't ever do any wrong. They could put out a trash album and I'll love it. And they're also a band that I have every one of their albums on vinyl. Like Tame Impala's like that, LCD Sound System's like that, Chromeo's like that. So yeah, the new Justice album is amazing. But the second one is from another Parisian, another artist from Paris, Kavinsky. And the song is called Renegade.
Hit me.
Summer's 2019, it's like a pipe dream. Filling up in the 16.
I like that.
And the video's dope too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
had a very Korn bullet just going through everything in the video.
Yeah, he falls off a building and goes smashing through a fucking window, which kicks off the fucking beat.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's your weekly ear candy. Those are good. Those are for bona fides, people. Like, seriously, if that,
we're getting better.
Yeah, those were all four of those. Like when I was getting them and downloading them, I was like, these are all absolute bona fide ear candies. Mm-hmm. So good job. Before we get to the what did we learn this week, you made it very apparent and you said that after we went to the Aries Spears show, as a lot of you already know, I took Jordan to the comedy show a couple weeks ago, and it was good, but it was so good. Jordan was like, I think you said this man's name needs to come up on the podcast just so like he knows and he gets his flowers.
Yeah, we need to give it to him because I thought that was, and look, yes, you're the one perusing all these shows up and down the East Coast, so you go to him a lot more than I do.
Yeah,
but he falls right in line with like.
I knew he was you.
Yeah, like it's just the market. What his comedy is exactly kind of what I want to be there for.
He still had a couple to this day that still pop into my head, and the couple I won't say the bits out loud because they were on that grime, so I won't say them out loud. But there are a couple things that he has said that still have stuck with me and are some of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was deliriously crying.
Yeah.
Can't control yourself laughter. And
Jordan and I elbowed each other so many times. Like, he would start going to one and we would just
broken.
be like, yeah, just destroying each other.
Oh my God. Yeah. It was great though. We went and got a couple drinks before, hung out, walked over. Parker Playhouse. Aries Spears did his thing.
He killed it.
Yeah.
He
so I wanted to
absolutely
make
killed it.
sure. And we were talking about I got 100 bones towards the Dania Improv, so we gotta book something.
I've got
maybe I'm hooked.
Yo, it's fun. And it's a good date night. Like, I tell everyone all the time, like, whenever they're like, oh, I'm looking for a date thing, or take her, impress, take her to the because it's a perfect place to one. You're not talking the whole time because when the show comes on, you don't have to sit there and like think of like, entertaining this person. These are like early date things, but then also laughing together is a very big connector, I think, like on a spiritual human level, and especially if you guys laugh are together at the same things, then that means you guys have things in common, dude. The boy's different.
I mean, 2024 Alex giving me relationship advice. I love it.
Yeah, it's a big...
I mean, first off, I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a great move. I mean, I never did that, so I've never even...
I've learned
that's
that.
A great,
especially when you're laughing with someone, when you're with, like, if you're with a chick and, like, you guys... Not only are the act of laughing together is really important because you guys don't even know subconsciously that you're connecting. But if you guys, like, do the thing where he's talking about, like, a joke and you look at each other and it's like... oh my God, this is funny. Like, that's an instant like connection. That's a bond right there.
But I also, and I love,
and you learn.
I love the inverse though of like, we're not laughing at the same things.
Yes.
This is not good.
Yes.
Abort mission.
Yeah. It's a very good report card.
To me, it's like, we don't necessarily have to laugh at everything the same,
right.
But we can't be like polar opposites.
It's a good report card. It's
love
good.
That.
You go home and you like, okay, we really figured out a lot of shit tonight.
Yeah. We worked through some things, but neither of us had to say a single word.
Yeah, that you don't like that type of stuff you don't get over coffee. You know what I mean?
Preach, brother.
Yeah. So yeah, all right.
Yeah,
that's good.
awesome time. Awesome time.
All right, Jordan. I cannot wait. It's always my favorite segment with you. What did you learn this week?
I gotta take a sip for this one.
Deep sigh. God, he sighed and looked right in my fucking just lost eyes.
I don't feel good about this one.
Oh no.
What I learned this week is your boy. You're right there in the zone, so I don't want you to think that you're safe either.
Okay.
But basically, the Fort Lauderdale I-95 595 exchange, but that mile, half mile on the top side of 595 and half mile underneath it
of 595, yeah,
on 95,
yeah,
deadliest mile of I-95 in the entire country.
Wow, dude. That's where Haskins went down. That's where Haskins went down.
I mean, yeah.
Like the way I put that? Sorry if your if Mama Haskins is listening. That was terrible the way I said that.
That was why you really pulled that one out and wanted
That
to
was
insert
treacherous.
that.
I'm so sorry. I might edit. Honestly, we have a really big like no edit policy around here. That one might get edited.
Oh my god! But yes, so it's basically since the year 2000, and this was up very.
Did something happen for you to look this up, or were you like? Because I feel like you got into it.
Nah, bro. This is just. I don't even know how this came up.
Okay.
I think it was actually an article I saw like on Twitter. I'm not fucking calling it X.
No.
And
should be called Triple X now. There's so much porno on there. I heard.
Is that?
That's what I mean. Everyone's just like, everyone, all the podcasts here, they're all just like, dude, it's just full of porn now. That's all because you
but
can.
They're probably looking at the porn.
Well, everyone they just do. I guess you could like it's linked just like, oh, yo, check out this.
I mean, I'm on Twitter and there's not porn everywhere.
You're a dad. If
Oh,
I was,
so
hey,
that's what it- so
if
that's
I was
how
on,
it
hey,
goes?
if I was on Twitter, your boy would be what? His mom and daughter? What?
All right. So since the year 2000, there's been like 24 deaths. There was see, I didn't, but I was like, oh, that doesn't even seem like that many.
I was gonna be absolutely in the hundreds.
Absolute boneyard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But they were saying that and here's the thing. So you got Fort Lauderdale, a lot of people, right?
So
But
it's the
then-
mile before and after that exchange is what you're talking about?
No, it's just
Or
it's
is
basically mile.
Is it the Haskin
State
mile?
Road 84. No, it's on 95.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on 95 or 595?
95.
Oh, you
where
said
it
595.
meets 595 though.
Okay.
And State Road 84 because there's all these different roads going everywhere.
That's my hood, baby. That's me.
I mean, you know me, yo,
That's-
I'm all
that's-
up in that.
Yeah, that's...
But they're saying because of the airport too, and people getting on and off, they're like
People
it's
are
the
figuring
perfect
out.
storm. Yeah, all these tourists that don't know where they're going
It
because
is-
the people that live here do, but still, like there's just so many cars. It's overloaded. Too many. Deadliest mile on 95.
That's good information. This is good. I'm glad this was your What Did You Learn This Week because I'm all up in that ass all the time.
You were
So-
birthed. You were born into that shit.
So I'll definitely be minding my P's and Q's now.
Yeah,
Not that I wasn't before, but definitely now.
but just it's renewing our vows to our P's and Q's.
Like I'll be like driving on there and like if somebody like cuts me off or does something crazy, like I'm gonna be like minding my P's and Q's, but roll up next to them and roll the window down and be like, "Yo, did you know that this is like the most deadly?" Like I'm gonna tell them.
Yeah,
yeah,
hit them.
Yeah,
Educate.
Yeah.
So yeah, didn't like seeing that, but I thought it was important.
Okay. That is
That's
important.
what I learned this week. Alex, what did you
I
learn
learned
this week?
I learned something equally as important as that.
It better be.
Do you know how in swimming pools usually it's not the it's not the step in swimming pools that you get on, but you know how you usually been on swimming pools where there's like a little bit of an elongated step that you can like kind of sit on, they're always in like really fancy pools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about the little beaches?
Yeah, kind of like little
Yeah,
beaches.
I had one.
Okay,
Pool flex.
dude, don't act like
Yo, Bill.
Don't act like I slept over your house like when you were 9 years old and I knew that was your pool.
Yo, parents moved to Florida. We took us from Atlanta, moved us to Florida, and built the pool in the back with a little dolphin playing with a ball in tile at the bottom of the pool and a little fucking gecko in the fucking beach right there going into the water.
It's not called a beach. It's called a Baja shelf. That's what that's called. A Baja shelf.
I was Baja the whole time?
Bro, you thought you were
I'm
in
the Baja Boys?
Bro.
The Baja Man?
Dude, who let the dogs out every Saturday for you in the summer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A Baja?
It's called a Baja shelf. So, like, yeah, whenever next time you're, like, on hey, that's a Baja shelf.
I like that. That's probably more important.
Yes. Yes, dude. Yes, dude. All right. We got some
Pick a side.
We got some important things to talk about. Obviously, a lot has happened since we've been away, but we got to talk about, I would say the J. Cole, Kendrick, those were the three main guys, but Cole kind of bitched out early. He did some fucking gay shit, and he was just like, I don't want in on this, which was like, honestly, that's one of the very first things I think J. Cole's ever done where I was like, I don't like that. I was mad that he bowed out like that.
I didn't like that he bowed out.
Like, so quickly, he kind of was just like, don't drop the bars type of situation, but whatever. J. Cole bowed out, but, and we won't even talk about, actually, we will talk about proliferation of all the other, the Rick Rosses, all the others that are out there, the Futures, the Metro Boomins, there's just a ton of them that are against Drake, which I think is very telling. Very telling. If there's one thing that we're going to come out of this together on, is the fact that there's a huge list of people over here that do not like Drake, means, the industry does not like you, and there's a reason, and it's not because you're like on top of the world type of situation.
Ooh, so what do you have? You have it being like a secret. You have basically Drake being the fuckboy, and there's some shit out there that the people don't know, but all these people know,
Absolutely.
and they're not cool with it.
I think they've hit.
So he's like, he's in the pedo ring or something like that.
Well, I don't think it's anything crazy like that, but I think Drake, and I've always thought this. Drake. Listen, no, I'm not even gonna say that. I won't even go there. His art and his rap and his streams and his numbers and the money that he makes and the amount of fans that he has is, I think, I'll be nice and say 40% talent, and then the other 60% is the label, is big music, working to making sure, because as everyone knows, you can pump up all of those like numbers and stuff, and I think he's just got a huge team of people that are making tons of money off of him. I'm talking about his label, I'm talking about PR people, I'm talking about executives that go in and fucking there's literally music lobbyists that make you get all of like to Spotify and all these people to make you get all these streams and these numbers up, and I think they all make money off of Drake. Drake knows it, and I think a lot of the industry is a little they're sick of that shit, and then I think also too there's some personal stuff going on there too with Drake. But I'm obviously Team Kendrick, and I don't even know why. I don't even know why Drake is even like Drake. That 16 minutes that Kendrick did now as his rebuttal. And the one thing that Drake was like, before he even released it, remember he was like, why haven't you released it yet? What are you waiting on? If you had it, why don't you? Dog, I've been doing my homework. I've been going deep on this whole entire thing. And Kendrick not only waxed his ass in that 6-minute thing with just quadruple entendres, as Kendrick does, the whole thing is draped in in this whole not pedo thing, but like, cause Drake's been known to like be like sliding the DMs of girls, like young girls, like Millie Bobby Brown and like a lot of young celebrities, like not outwardly coming out, but there's a lot of stuff out there. You can go read it of him sliding into, celebrities when they were like under 18. And it's a little creepy looking, but he never did anything wrong. No, he didn't do anything wrong, but it's there. It's documented. And the day that Kendrick released that took so long for him to release his rebuttal, that was on national, I forget what it's called, but it's like National like Child Care Day. And the whole entire rap is draped in tons of just like those type of, not, I'm gonna call them pedo innuendos, innupedos. But
Naturally.
Kendrick, I think Kendrick destroyed him. But it's also a weird, and I know I'm talking a lot, but it's also a very weird rap battle because, when you had your Nas's and your Jay-Z's, they both intellectually were at the same level, whereas Drake's style and Kendrick's style are so different.
Yeah.
I don't think you're ever going to get this guy one over that guy one, because Drake's like a big metaphor guy, and whereas Kendrick is like super like intellectual and clever, like you have to like read his lyrics to get it, whereas Drake is just like catchy with it. It's got a lot of metaphors and a lot of like quick like little quick one-liners like that, whereas Kendrick, he don't do one-liners, like his are like super deep, so it's gonna be a hard one I think to judge.
And to me
sorry. Whew. I went off there.
Extendo, go off, King.
This is like 3 weeks of shit.
Go off, King. Go off, King.
This is 3 weeks. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of dissect here.
Yeah.
Don't like the J. Cole popping out early thing. That's kind of like if there was someone that was just gonna be like, nah, either of you, I'm just gonna take the crown. He could have done it. I think it's really weird that Rick Ross tried to even like interject on it also. It seems like back in the day, I feel like one person called out one person, or one group called out one group. Now you got like one person fighting on like multiple fronts of like not equal importance. But which makes it kind of whack, in my opinion.
Well, what do you when you say of equal? You mean not on the same level? What wise?
Yeah, I mean like Rick Ross wasn't a part of this. It was
that
kind of like,
but that goes.
You and someone else have beef, and I know that, so now I want in on it.
Well, that goes back to what I was kind of saying of like, I think it's very telling with the amount of all these other people because, dude, Rick Ross. Why is Metro booming in this? He's like a producer, he's not even a rapper. It's like he's a producer and he's getting in on it. So like that's why I think it's just like it's very telling that there's a crew of people in the industry that for I think a long time have been like, yo, fuck that fucking half white boy. And I said white boy.
I don't think that's it at all. I think it's totally
there's
like...
no reason why Rick Ross would even... Because I bet Rick Ross has been
I think he's just trying to like leech off of the
you think
attention.
he's leeching? Oh
yeah.
I think Rick Ross has just had enough. And you think he's leeching though?
I think... No, he's like... Yeah, he's old and not as relevant as them as he was 10, 15 years ago. And he's like trying to do a thing where he just wants back in on
his
the
bars
action.
were not good.
I didn't even listen to it.
His bars were just okay. He did like,
and it's just to me kind of like
they did like him and Drake did like a kind of like a weird like rich thing back and forth. They did like a money. They did like a money thing, which I was like, this is a dumb beef. This isn't. I don't like. I'm not gonna listen to two millionaires, beef over money.
And I don't like that you hear them battling like they know each other so well when in fact it's like I have a team of people, you have a team of people who can dig up the most dirt on the other person, so that I can release it. And now it's just like a hot goss.
You talking about?
I'm talking about just like rap beefs in general nowadays, where it's like I just have to like. It's not you and me in the same room going back and forth. It's I'm gonna sit here. My undercover agents are gonna go find out what you did in 9th grade.
Well, see,
so that I can use that in my next fucking verse.
I have to say, that's what I kind of liked about Kendrick's verse was, and he pretty much did it from like within the first 32 bars of. That's how he pretty much kicks off the rap was when he's like, this isn't about like I forget what he says. This isn't about like this or that. He's like, this is just about like love and hate. And he goes, and dog, fucking, I'm hating. I'm king. He said something like I'm king hater, and then he just goes into hating on. That's what I liked about it. He didn't go like. I don't think he went and tried to like dig up any dirt. I think he just like, this is why I think you're whack, and I think everything he said was like why he thinks he's whack. I didn't get that like. I think Rick Ross did that type of shit.
Yeah.
Metro, Future, they did that type of shit.
Yeah.
Pusha did that type of shit too. When he brought out like his kid that was back in the day. Kendrick's not doing that. I don't think.
Okay.
That's just me though.
Yeah, but I don't like that. That's I feel like the first thing that they always run to when it's like you're getting a week to respond or 2 weeks to respond to something, 3 weeks, whatever it is. You know what I mean? When like back in the day, it's like, nah, you're standing belly to belly and it's time to go.
But back in the day, you didn't have the information. I think if Nas had the information that the information age that we live now, I think he would use all that against.
So you
Jay-Z
think it's
too.
just it's a lack of technology thing back?
Yeah, because remember, even when Dr. Dre and Eazy-E went back and forth, like when or Ice Cube and Eazy-E went back and forth, like Ice Cube on No Vaseline, which to me is probably one of the hardest diss tracks of all time. Ether is number 2, No Vaseline is number 1 for me. Like Ice Cube went fucking in on like some deep shit like with Easy on that one, he brought up like him and Jerry Heller and like all of that stuff. So I don't know. I think it's an information age. That I think if Nas had all that, he would have just destroyed Jay-Z, and Jay-Z would have done the same thing.
I think there should be a rule that
there's no rules. There's no rules.
But the rules
there's no rules.
You only get to look at the other person's Wikipedia. That's it. You don't get to dig any deeper than what's already on there.
Nah,
that's all you get to use. That's all the material you get.
In rap beefs, there's no rule. That's the one thing. That's what's the one thing that's great about it is there are no rules. It's each other's truths, and you just go in. So you're Team Drake.
No. I'm team I'm not.
You have to pick. No. You have to pick. We're not doing that gay shit. You got to pick. You got to pick one.
I'm J. Cole. I'm out.
Hey, all right, J. Cole. You found a loophole.
I'm out.
You
I'm
found
out.
a loophole.
I'm J. Colin. I'm J. Colin that.
You son of a bitch.
You like that?
I did like that. It wasn't what I want. Wasn't the outcome I wanted, but I did.
You didn't even know it was on the table.
I didn't. Well, as soon as you said it, I was about to be like, you could pick Metro. I was about to say you could pick Metro Boomin Future, and then you went,
okay, Future, definitely, absolutely not. You got bodied on your own song by Kendrick. You're not supposed to let the guest on your song have that become the diss track that then gets extra popular.
Yeah.
Because it's all because of Kendrick on the song. Because I do like that song now.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
But
did you see Kendrick too was like, his buddy, one of his buddies, because it was a 6-minute track. You see one of his buddies was like, yo, the version that he played for me was 60 minutes long. He's just like that. He goes, that was just the first 8. He goes, the version I listened to, was 16 minutes of him going hard for 60 minutes. He goes, in the last half of that, he goes, it's hard. Because the track is actually, see, that's what's so dope about Kendrick too. The beef track, it goes through so many different like tunnels and waves, and it's all these different types of songs, and then even like the way he like raps,
he's good at that.
That's why it was so crazy. It's like even you made the beef song like super fucking like creative as fuck, like so many different beats, and like the way that he raps, he like pulls it back when like the beat is kind of like ethereal, and like and then he goes back in and grinds hard. I was like, God, this guy, like, if I was Drake and I was just telling, I'd be like, yo, we need to find a way out, because it's not going to end well. If I had to pick right now who it's not gonna end well, it's not gonna end well for Drake, dude. I
don't think in the end that it's gonna end poorly for anyone. I think both of these people are gonna make a shit ton of money off of this. And in reality, in a year from now, we're not even going to be talking. We'll be talking about the great beef of 2024.
I don't know. I don't think Kendrick. I think, and we kind of talked about this on the episode right before we left. Was I don't think that Kendrick, really fucking plays in the fucking sandbox like that, unless he fucking, is really trying to. I don't think he's making sandcastles unless fucking it's actually a fucking that type of day at the beach. I don't think he's gonna like muddy himself up and play with the peasants like this. I think he's just literally like, all right, like he's not gonna spend his time on shit like this. If he actually is not gonna be one passionate and then fucking destroy the motherfucker and know it. Like I don't think he does that. Drake does do that shit. Drake's been doing that shit. Kendrick, I don't think does that shit unless he's about to go off, and I think he's doing it. I don't know, Drake. You need to chill. I think he needs to chill.
All right, so you're Kendrick. I'm J. Cole. I need someone out there. 305-741-2371. I want someone who's on the Drake.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good idea. Anyone that like and seriously, if you like the Drake, yo, honestly, 305-741-2371. Hit us up or hit in the DMs and let us know, and we'll have you on the next episode. So and we won't debate. We just want to hear
state your case.
Yeah, state your case. We just want to hear it, and we'll have you call. We'll have you call in. We'll get you live on here. We got those capabilities now, but you better come correct, because if you don't come correct, then I will demolish you and hang up on you like you're fucking, a caller, like, calling into like
drive time Jets radio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm Mad Dog. I'll just absolutely.
We'll Mad Dog you.
I'll Mad Dog you. Yeah. Woo! That was good. I needed that.
Yes.
That was me, and that was me doing this. That was me literally scratching the surface.
I'm glad to see though that you're invested here, because I didn't know. I felt that there might have been you'd cross your legs just like this. You'd wear that exact Atlanta Braves shirt, and you would kind of do this Chris Benson flick away with your hand dismissively, like you don't have the time for it.
I listened to both tracks multiple times, and then I waited like the day or two after, and then Googled like the lyrics, and then I had watched YouTube videos of people explaining, and because it's. And
you watched a YouTube video of someone explaining the lyrics,
bro. There's
this
awesome. It's called Dissect. It's on YouTube. Check out the channel. And the motherfucker, I went in deep on this Kendrick one. Drake, you need to chill, dog.
Now,
you
when
need
he
to
says
chill.
that he's whipping pies,
bro, it's literally like they just go like bar by bar. And it's like these 4 bars, and then literally every 4 bar for Kendrick is just like, okay, so this bar works off of this bar in this way, and then this bar is actually a double entendre because of this one word in this bar. It's just like, you're just like, oh my god. And then the way that all 4 of these bars come together is because he's actually talking about this, and like this is just like this outside thing that's like from Drake said like 4 years ago, like on an album. You're just like, Jesus Christ, Kendrick, you need to, Kendrick, you stupid with it. You stupid with it.
You're getting like all scientific,
bro. You have to. It's crazy. It's It's crazy. There was one bar that had like, I'm the Reaper. Like Kendrick's like, I'm the Reaper, and it's just 4 bars, and it's like, and everything was just off of the Reaper, and it just went. It spider webbed out into a place where I was just like, he should run for president. He's the smartest person I ever know.
You have him picking up a Senate.
He's
seat.
Jason Bourne in the studio, just like he's just just like or what's the one with Tom Cruise where he's like moving it around.
Minority Report.
Yo, Kendrick Lamar is Tom Cruise in Minority Report when he walks into the studio and turns the mic on. He just starts going like this, and mathematical fucking equations are just floating behind him, dog. I swear to God.
I love that Minority Report.
That was it.
Shout.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah. We've got the Hall of Fame. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced their inductions. They announced
who's in.
These are the people, the official list of who's in
2024.
And we got some things to talk about. We got a couple. There's a few things we got to talk about. Everything else is like, okay, got it.
Okay, hit me.
So Big Mama Thornton's in there. That's an easy one. She's like an old, blues. She's probably honestly the first fucking black blues player of all time. People don't know that it's actually a woman. And then you got Cher. Cher's in there. We're cool with that.
Yeah.
We're cool with that. Cher, you throw the asterisk chaps on, that kind of just makes you're in. Dionne Warwick, absolutely.
Gotta let her in.
Absolutely.
Deserves it.
Fun fact about Dionne Warwick: her grandchild is Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child.
I like what you did there.
There you go. Peter Frampton's in there. Oh wow!
I mean,
what was the song? Do you
feel like I do?
Do you feel like I do? Wow! I put a tube in my mouth, and now I'm in the Hall of Fame because of it.
Now, I think that it's only fair that his acceptance speech he should do it with that.
Dude. He has to. That's the only way he's in, right? I mean, we're all going to just like, hey, you're allowed to be in, but we're all going to agree the reason why you're in is because...
It's that one song.
Is because you did the vote.
Live performance.
Because you were the first to do the vocator, like, when Peter Frampton Comes Alive.
Yes.
And we all know that vinyl album. So,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely has to... That definitely has to...
Look, there's people that get in.
There's people
that get in just based on the T-shirt, the band tees, right? There's some people that get in on like this gimmick. They had just like 3 great seasons in the league, and
think about the guys. Think about the guys that had that stuck the tube in their mouth and connected it to their guitar and did the vocoder years before that. And then Frampton Comes Alive, and he did it, and they're just like, dude, we've been no, dude, Steve, take a look. Come here, get a load of this. Come here.
Look what's on MTV
Look
right
at this cocksucker, dude. Can you believe this shit? He was here last year when we were gigging in fucking Burlington. Yeah, Birmingham. Yeah, he was. Remember, he played that same night. I bet he did come.
He didn't come alive that night,
dude. Those guys. There's probably so many of those guys out there, just like that are just like at a bar somewhere, just like I was doing that 6-7 years before Peter ever even sniffed a fucking tube. Like
and that he takes a long sip of his Budweiser and goes right back to the Jack.
Yeah, dude. So Peter Frampton's in there. Foreigner,
no doubt. No, hey,
Foreigner.
Y'all did the right thing.
Hey, Foreigner deserves to be in there, buddy. Ozzy Osbourne gets in there on his own. Black Sabbath in on his own. I guess because you chew off of Peter Frampton through the tube in his mouth. Ozzy Osbourne through the bat in his mouth. That's what happened.
You've already been to the mountaintop before. This doesn't feel as good. I kind of feel like you're taking up someone else's spot, but it's yours.
Just go. Now we don't have to see you anymore.
Get out of
here.
Yeah.
This is the one. I'm gonna say the band's name, and then I'm just gonna look at you because right now I'm not looking at you. I'm just gonna look at you after.
I'm ready.
Dave Matthews Band.
Squeeze me.
No. Sit in it. Sit in it.
No, I don't want to sit in it.
Hey.
I'm going to pinch myself because I must be dreaming.
Dude, sit in it. Okay? Let it wash over you like all of their tour buses shit washed all over those poor people in Chicago.
I'd rather that happen. It kind of feels like that's happening right now.
This is the type of shit I'm pissed.
It also just shockingly makes me feel very old that they could already somehow be in, and
So pissed.
That makes me think that now it's political.
And
It's politics to get in rather than.
And we should have known this because remember I did the review back in December. I just did the review because the ceremony I think is like October, but they release it like in December. And I did, and remember, if you remember correctly, remember Dave Matthews? Remember he filled in. He played was like a posthumous inductee. Remember he played. Because I remember I trashed him. I was like, yeah, and then Dave came out and fucking played for somebody.
Oh, someone who lost a lead singer or something.
It was like an artist that they were dead. They weren't there. He
did the in memoriam.
So he did the in the memoriam for him, and it was just him. And I remember I bitched him. And so we should have seen this coming. What pisses me off is a year ago the Hall of Fame committee was already like, yo, we should get Dave on now because we're gonna give it to him next year, and it's gonna be his first time on the ballot, and people are gonna be like, what the fuck? So let's warm people up to him now and put him on the. See, I don't like that.
See?
Yeah, don't like that. Pissed, shitted.
I'm shitted.
Mary J. Blige. Now we're back. We're back.
We're back.
We're gonna follow it up again, and we're gonna follow it up with we're back. Tribe Called Quest.
No doubt.
No doubt. They didn't make it in, but no doubt.
No doubt did.
No doubt is not in.
No doubt is but are they?
There's a little doubt. There's a little doubt. There's a little doubt
for sure.
But here's another one that I kind of wanted to ask you about, and I want to, and you're gonna make the judgment on this, okay? And
my vote gets them in or out.
This vote means if this is allowed or not. No, they're in, but if this is allowed or not, because this is a guy that's
I'll be a gatekeeper. Go ahead.
This was a guy that was not on the list of nominees when I announced them, a few months back.
Is he a write-in on the ballot?
He's a write-in. Okay, Jimmy Buffett. You judge. What say ye? I mean, what are we feeling bad here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Why couldn't you wait till next year?
Hey, you guys let him dead people all the time. Why don't you just let him get his? Why don't you let him next year? Why are we running to the ballot box?
I
didn't like that.
Politics. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like, and we all know the rock and roll. There's like.
I just don't understand why you couldn't do it. He's already dead. Why couldn't you do it next year?
You know what?
And just be like, give him a year of death minimum.
Well, yeah, what is a little recent? That's recency bias if I've ever heard it.
That's what I'm saying. He's getting the Tupac effect. It's a Tupac halo effect.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, the Dave Matthews thing really set me off, and then the Jimmy Buffett thing, I was just like, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you're the only one I care about, and I need you to get just a bit of integrity back in it. And I swear to God, if I hear anyone else, you need to start letting more people in. Kool and the Gang, where's Kool and the Gang, bro? They were a nominee. They absolutely should be in there way before Dave Matthews Band.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, sets me off, brother. Sets me off.
There were some good people in, but I actually don't mind Jimmy.
I don't mind him either.
DMB, I'm just I'm not even saying the name. DMB shouldn't be in, and Jimmy should have been, but they should have made Jimmy wait a year just to give him a little cool down period.
And the reason why DMB shouldn't be in is because I will go out right now and I'll go to 100 different cities. I'll go to 100 different cities. I will get off the plane. I will go to that city's, biggest city, and I will go up to one person in that city and go, name one Dave Matthews Band song. And I'm almost positive the number is going to be 75 to 25, and that's me being nice. 75 to 25. 25 people are the only. There's only 25 people that know, and of those 25 people, 20 of them will go, I only know Crash. They'll only know one. Dave Matthews Band song.
Hate that song.
Crash into me. Dude, I will smash into you.
I want you to.
Let's get into this week's Peacock, dude, because I am hot.
All right, let's do it.
All right, this week's Peacock is such a good one. It's going to be Jordan. It's going to be one where Jordan's like, I can't believe you never showed me these people.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, you should already be pissed off. I've been wanting to do them for a while, as I always say, but I finally did this weekend because I feel like we had been gone for a while, so I needed to come correct for you and for them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
So this week's Peacock in music is Savoy Brown.
Savoy Brown.
You probably have ran into him in your. I thought about this. I was like, I don't think Jordan knows it, but I bet he has ran into him in his blues rock adventures for sure.
That name sounds familiar.
1965 to 2022.
Damn.
British blues rock band, Savoy Brown. The band formed by the Nasty. Hey, this guy, he's not in the top 5. He's not in the top 10, but this guy could absolutely roll with any single person in your top 10. This is a man that my father showed me about very early on and blew my fucking dick off. Or as my dad would say, cream in your jeans. Okay? And this guy, the band was formed by guitarist Kim Simmons.
Little Kim Sim?
Little Kim Simmons. Kim Simmons is a guy, if you see him, if you are digging the record store and you see him and it says guitar, it says personnel and then it says guitar Kim Simmons, you take that out and you put it in your sack and you purchase that.
You take it out and you walk right out and don't pay. No.
Yeah. So formed by Kim Simmons and a harmonica player, John O'Leary. The two met actually at a local record shop. The group name actually comes from a very famous, it's an old, very famous American blues label called Savoy Records. And Brown was just, they were looking to name, they wanted the name of a blues sounding, person, guitarist, musician, but was made up. But they wanted the name to be rooted in some type of blues, so that's why they did the Savoy Records thing, and they took Brown because Brown was just kind of like a black person's last name, and it was easy, and they thought it went together, so that's why they are called Savoy Brown. And for a very, very long time, young Alex thought Savoy Brown was like the lead singer of Savoy Brown.
That's okay.
Idiot. Took me till I was like 14 or 15 to be like, I remember like saying to my dad, like, Savoy's got a good, really good voice. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say? And I was like,
he expected you to
he's
know.
like, do you know who's in, Savoy Brown? I was like, yeah, Kim Simmons is, guitarist and Savoy Brown's the singer. And he's like, no, he's not. And he's
Idiot.
just so goddamn pissed off at me. And so,
Good.
yeah.
That's what you got.
Yeah. So they did a good job. They did a good job on the name. The lineup included, though, Bryce Portois, I think, Portios, Portius,
Portois.
I think it's Portois, right?
Yes.
Bryce Portois, because if it was a U, it would be
French or
Portius.
Haitian or something.
Yeah. Bryce Portois, who is, and he is the lead singer, not Savoy Brown.
Idiot.
Bryce Portois is the lead singer and the very first Black American musician, blues musician to play in a British blues band. He was the only American, and he was the very first Black British blues musician to play in a British blues band. Bryce Portois.
Okay.
Sit in that motherfucker. That one's deep.
I feel like that was also really late.
Yeah, so did I. That's 1965. I was just like, Jesus, those guys over there were just really just like, no, we got it.
We're all good, chum.
We got
We're all in
bloody hell. We're good at it.
Tip-top shape over here.
Yeah. Their debut album though in 1967, Shakedown, was just a collection of blues covers. Didn't really hit anything too big. But again, this band went through tons and tons of lineup changes. And it got to the point where Kim Simmons got pretty much over it. But immediately after that first album, went through their first lineup change. But it was a good lineup change because the lineup change was the bassist and the drums dipped out. And the bassist and drums that replaced them were the bassist and drummer from the Eric Clapton version of John Mayall's Blues Breakers. That was a lot right there.
Woo!
I'll repeat. The replacements were Eric Clapton's John Mayall's Blues Breakers version. So when Eric Clapton was in that band, the bassist and drummer they replaced and were in Savoy Brown, and then they were on and popping. So after that, the band got a really huge, quickly had a really big following. Very loyal following too in the United States after that. They put out a song called I'm Tired, and that whole sound really connected with the U.S. audience before it eventually blew up in the U.K. So one of the very first times where it was a little bit of a flip-flop where they were,
that's weird.
Put out another album. They're like, again, they're on that kind of blues breaker level, so they're not really charting a ton, but their third album they put out didn't chart, didn't do anything special, but it went through another pretty big lineup change, and pretty much the whole band besides Kim Simmons pretty much left, and that band the next year after they left formed Foghat, the band Foghat.
Not where I thought you were going.
Yeah, so Foghat is Savoy Brown. So whenever you hear, what did they sing? Mississippi Queen, I believe was Foghat. Whenever you hear Mississippi Queen, think, this is Savoy Brown. No biggie. Just saying.
Heard.
So there you go. And just as a side note too, I didn't want to go into it and get bogged down because I was like, man, this will just get like very too convoluted, but they went through like 3 or 4 like significant lineup changes, and every single time someone left their band, they would go to like the Kinks. They would go to
it was all
other
like
big bands.
star-studded big bands.
Yeah. But in 1971, they did chart on the Billboard the top 100 with their single "Street Corner Talkin'," and then the next album after that, which is my personal very favorite album, front to back, does no wrong, Hellbound Train, that actually made it in the Billboard in the top 40 out for albums. Really? I think they snuck in there, it was like 38, but hey, it still counts.
Hey, you're in.
Yeah, Hellbound Train, amazing album. Amazing. That's the one that's gonna blow. You're gonna cream your jeans when you hear that shit. Don't smile. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. It's my dad. Imagine being like just a 7-year-old being like, "What'd you just fucking say?"
That's how I picture you saying it.
And the way that he's doing it too, he's referring to it as like he's like, when I'm drinking like a soda, he'll be like, "Man, when I gave you that grape soda, you creamed your jeans." Like that's how he's using that. He's not it's using it in the most innocent way.
Love that though.
Good God, no wonder I am who I am. But the band had tons of great success all throughout the 70s. They toured with Judas Priest. They toured with a ton of really big bands and stuff throughout the 70s. And then the 80s hit and started kind of falling off because, as everyone knows, is a common theme on this podcast whenever we do these peacocks. When the 80s hit, they really ruined rock and roll for a lot of musicians and bands because it was just such a sound that took over that people didn't really survive through that.
No, it was hard to wade your way through that.
Yeah, if you were a traditional, rock and rollist. So, but they like Kim Simmons basically in 1984, he pretty much didn't kick everyone out, but he's kind of just like, hey, I'm just gonna do Savoy Brown on my own. I got this. I'll just bring people on when I want to tour. I got this, and kind of sent everybody on their merry way, and they probably all were good to go on their merry way because, again, it was the 80s. So Kim Simmons did his own thing all the way up into the 2000s, and he eventually did die, though, in 2022 of colon cancer.
Oh, I thought you were going to say COVID.
No, yeah, it was colon cancer, which is the highest percentage, has the highest death rate among all of the cancers, if you didn't know that.
Okay.
And I know that because I had to get my colonoscopy, and the doctor needed to let me know that. Hey, thanks, doc. Thanks. Thanks. He said, you know what's number 2? I said, what? Prostate? He goes, yeah. That's exactly how that went, by the way.
I love that.
I was like, okay, dick and asshole, got it. So there's your peacocking music this week, Savoy Brown, and I'm gonna play a little tidbit of them for you
Hit me.
now, and you're gonna love it. You, my friend, are going to love it. The song's called "Tell Mama."
I'll cream my jeans.
I quit my job.
I mean, that's it. That's it.
I was more looking at the picture of them, just like thinking of them like just how they would rock that too.
They're amazing. Kim Simmons is a fucking beast on the guitar, dog. I can't wait for you to hear him.
All right. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So one of the last thing we're gonna do here was Jordan hit me up when we were talking this weekend or week whenever it was, and
I'll set the scene for you.
Yeah, go.
So I got dropped off at the airport. I had to fly up to Atlanta, but when I was leaving Atlanta, I was like, all right, got the Uber, got all the way down there, get to the airport, got there early. ATL's crazy like that. Breezed right through, but down the airport's so big there, you have to get on a tram.
Yes.
Right? So you get on the tram, and it made me think of like The Fifth Element. You think of like, when you think about the future and when it's going to become like, space junk and we have all these houses built up miles into the sky.
Fifth Element's that's a good one. I'm trying to think of one, but I think that's a good one.
Like, what's one place that will always look like what it currently looks like?
Right.
It's the airport.
Right.
Think to like even Star Wars and shit. Like there's airports in those types of movies, like even in the future.
Right.
And it was one of those where I was like, there's something you could do here where, it's just about how the future is kind of like the same. You know what I mean?
So, but where's the comedy in it? This is supposed to be a comedy bit. You didn't do a very good job of setting up. Jordan's like, I have a comedy bit, and this is what and I was like, all right. He goes, I'm gonna shoot it to you on the pod, and that's what was that it right there?
Because it's a miserable place now, and it'll always be a miserable place, and it's even depicted as being a miserable place, even from like the old movies in the future.
Okay, so the comedy bit is you have to make the connection to what else is like that, but also you can be seen in the future as that as well. That's the comedy. That's where you start.
I'm leaving it for you though.
Oh, I have to write it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I can work with that. I can work on that.
I'm just an ideas man.
Okay.
I'm not doing any of the work.
Did I tell you my the comedy bit I had for that over Easter that I thought of?
No.
I got a good one. I thought it was pretty good. So, as everyone knows, or most people know, Easter is, Jesus, got crucified on the cross and then rose from the dead 3 days later, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. But I was thinking, and I was like, what if the story actually wasn't that? What if the story, I think the story is because there's 2 Roman guards guarding, the tomb for the 3 days. And I think those Roman guards, got to the 3rd day and they were like, dude, this guy's dead as doornails. No pun intended.
Yeah?
And I think they're like, hey, Romulus, let's go down to the pub. Let's grab a fucking beer. We'll be right back. Look how heavy this rock is. It's definitely not rolling. It's not going anywhere. No one can move this thing. And I think they went down there and tacked one on. And I think they came back and the rock was moved. Jesus' body was gone. And I think they were like,
wait, is that what happened?
Yeah, that's the story. The story is like, I think the guard, like, overnight when the guards woke up, the rock was moved and Jesus' body was gone. And they were like, and he's risen. And then like over like on a hill, like, a quarter mile down the road, like he appeared to like, one of the apostles was like, yo, son, I'm here still. I think that's actually the real story. But I think the story is the 2 guards came back and they were like, yo, dude, he's fucking gone. We fucked up. Someone came and fucking, oh, all right. You know what? Hey, this is what we're going to do because we can't let fucking Pontius Pilate know about this. He's going to crucify us if he finds out that we fucking weren't here.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, he just talked about this on Monday morning's meeting. He said everyone's got to stand their fucking, on their post.
Don't fall asleep on sentry.
Yeah. So I think what we do, because remember Jesus was like always walking around when he was living saying like, oh, I'm going to be miracles. I'm a fucking rise. I'm going to be a miracle God. What if we just fucking tell everybody, dude rose from the dead? What do you think?
But he did though, right?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. How's that comedy bit?
I think that but how do we get into the topic? How are you going to get into that? How are you going to get to that point?
The way you get to it is by holidays.
Religion, man.
Religion. The way you get to the holidays, you're like, yeah, fucking holidays. We just had like whatever the last holiday was. You just pick the last holiday. You're like, my mom fucking loves holidays.
Flag Day, man.
You know what? Yeah. You're just like, fucking. You know what's one of my mom's most biggest ones? That woman loves her an Easter, and then that's how you launch into it. You can start doing Easter bunny stuff, but then you eventually get to that's how you get into it from the holidays.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think there's some good work there with. I didn't know the story, so that was all new to me. Whatever you tell me, that's what I'm going home with.
Right. Well, maybe that's a good thing that we're working out now is. Maybe before I launch into my story, make sure everyone knows and I'm gonna do air quotes for the people that are listening, that the real story. I'll tell them the real story before I get into my story.
And now it just turns into you just converting a bunch of people on stage.
Yeah,
and then you claiming to be
because the actual idea of like. Oh, this guy. There was day 3, hour 72 of these 2 poor guards, fucking, having to watch this fucking cave, and it's not muffing. No, the guy's fucking in there, fucking dead. What's the big deal? He's not going.
What are they protecting him from?
Well, they didn't want anybody to come and like take and fuck with the body. Like they Pontius Pilate was like, yo, make sure that motherfucker is sealed in that fucking tomb because he was out here talking mad wild about water to wine shit. Is that how I say it too? But I'm telling the story. I say it like, I gangster it up a little bit? But
I have the 2 guards like shimmying a giant Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom style boulder, like a big one that rolls down the cave, being the boulder on top of the tomb.
Yeah, they come back just some absolute a couple nectars deep.
Yeah.
A couple of just fucking
meads.
What are they called of wine? Yeah, some meads. Wine. Yeah. Yeah, like they were walking back and just with their like to go mugs of wine. They're just like to see that motherfucker turn this back into water. Like just drinking it,
Now are there footsteps leading away from the grave, or did he float away?
Dude, I got out of that thing real quick when I found out about the priest stuff. I was like, I'm not down with this religion. So you can't ask me too many of the particulars.
But I'm just saying, even if were you there, would you be
Oh my God!
Tracks, or would you make sure they saw them?
I would be like, "Yo, we got to go clean up these tracks, and then Romulus, you need to give me a hand. We got to push that fucking boulder back over the thing." So when Pontius Pilate shows up and he says, "Yeah, we got about an hour. We need to when we roll that tomb back open, we got to go. Whoa, where Hey, Romulus, right now. Give me your impression. You're Romulus. Hey, Romulus, it needs to be convincing. I need to see what you're going to do when Pontius Pilate shows up. What are you going to do?
Wait, this is when it's uncovered, and then we see that
when we roll it back over.
The J-Man's no longer in it.
I need to see what you're going to do.
What's going on here? Where is he?
Have some more fervor in your voice, Romulus.
Pontius, I swear he was here. We put the boulder over the top. You and me, Temple of Doom, earlier. Remember?
Good.
Wait, how did it? I don't understand how it even got off.
Stick with that.
Boom.
Stick with that. That's the energy. That's the type of energy that we need. That's exactly because that's what I'm going to do.
I know exactly what happened.
Yeah,
he rose, allegedly.
Or no. Maybe hey, Romulus, you do that thing, and then maybe I come in and go, hey, Pontius. Remember when he was kind of saying how he was going to rise from the dead? Should we just what do you think about just like telling people that? What do you think? And then
you're going to nudge up to him.
Yeah, we kind of like and then because Pontius he doesn't want to look bad, Romulus. He don't want to look bad, so maybe and then that's how we get it going, And then hopefully some people that have been writing those scripture things they write that down. They write that down.
We take them back to the bar. More mead. Hey, write this.
We go find like that Peter and Paul guy that have been writing those like scripture things, and then we kind of like we sit to the you're
were
Romulus,
they the writers?
Romulus, there were a lot of writers. There were a lot. The Corinthians. There was a lot of writers, and we sit like the table right next to him, Romulus, you and I, and we start talking loud, right? And it's kind of like a little. Have you ever seen the movie Inception, Romulus? Like we kind of do that.
Leo was in it. It was Leo. You're gonna love. If you haven't, you are gonna. Leo is your guy. I promise.
Hey, we will see you next week.
See ya.